I'm Dr. Gina, and this is America Trends. Our poll question today, do you think more candidates should enter the presidential race? That is the dumbest poll question I've ever heard on this show.
Well, I'm hoping it's easy. It's an easy one.
People don't need easy polls, Jason. Talk about underachiever. Okay, vote in that poll right now. You vote yes or no, U2America.com, or use the U2 America app, or whack Jason with your computer if you don't have anything else to do. And you can download that if you haven't done it already. Trending today, the big debate over whether to run a third-party candidate against Donald Trump. Some say Trump needs to be taken out, but won't that just help elect Hillary? Somebody who's really fired up about this is my next guest. He joins me here in studio, Barry Nussbaum. Barry, welcome to the show. Barry, tell me, what are the Never-Trumpers thinking? Because I think they are very inauthentic to not just say that that the whole goal is to take Trump out, right?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things, Dr. Gina. One, there is no alternative. We're a two-party system for centuries. Mm-hmm. A third-party candidate has never won. Right. A third-party candidate with the existing political structure and the laws state by state, it's mathematically impossible. Right. There's only been two successful candidates in the last 100 years, the last one obviously being my favorite for a few weeks before he went a little crazy, 30 years ago. And he got to 19%, which was Ross Perot. And before that, you have to go all the way back to 1912 to Theodore Roosevelt, and he wasn't elected either. So anybody that says there's a legitimate chance is really being disingenuous.
At a certain point, but at this point, they're insane. I mean, they're either lying to you or they're crazy. There's no in between at this point.
I would say it's probably simply a matter of what you said in the intro. They don't want Trump so badly, they'll put up anybody.
But now, don't they understand that the very reason Trump happened is because they've been so dishonest with the American public? So to even come out and pretend like you're going to put a candidate in at this juncture when they can't possibly even get on the ballot in enough states to win is so disingenuous and only further repels people. Don't they understand that?
Well, I think it's really weirder than that. There's been a number of pundits that have actually written that they hope Trump loses, and then the obvious question is posed to them, well, that means that Hillary wins. Now, these are conservatives, by the way.
Supposedly.
And they say, well, that's okay, because 4 years from now, we'll put up a proper GOP candidate who will beat Hillary, and don't worry, she can't do that much damage in 4 years. For the people that remember Jimmy Carter, oh, yes, anybody can cause a lot of damage in 4 years.
I mean, the economic ruin we could be in at that point is unspeakable. Not to mention the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court. Yeah. Okay, so I want to switch topics, though, because I really want to get to this, because I had a little go-around with on another network today, and I was really not happy about it, actually. Trump University trending today. A few ex-workers are calling the real estate school a fraud. Trump says the trial is rigged. They're reporting accusations in the media like they are fact. And then the things that have already been released about Hillary and her whole email scandal, or Hillary and her Benghazi scandal, or Hillary and her bimbo scandal, or whichever of the things you want to point to, the things that have been proven, those are still allegations in the mind of the liberal media. They just don't get it. Is this rigged against Trump?
Boy, that is going to be the story on Trump till November and beyond. Something really interesting is starting to come out. Number one, Trump is being tried in the press by slow leaks coming out of the trial. What nobody yet has reported on is the following. And if you want to talk about conspiracy, here's a really good one for the mainstream press.
Got my tinfoil hat, ready to go.
Here's one for the mainstream press to go jump on. You've got a judge that from the podium here in San Diego, Donald Trump called very biased. He said something he shouldn't have, that the guy is Mexican. The reality is he was born in Indiana. He's Latino, but that has nothing to do with it. What's bizarre is the judge is a Obama appointee and a Democratic political supporter. The lawsuit is a class action. The judge picked two law firms to be certified as the class action representatives. Both of them are very active in Democratic politics, to the point of one of them is affiliated with MoveOn.org, which is the most left-wing, almost fall off the planet liberal Democratic organization.
Right.
And the other one is a donator to Hillary Clinton's campaign.
Wow.
So you've got rulings by the judge, certifications by 2 law firms, who all of whom want Hillary Clinton to be the next president of the United States. Isn't it interesting? Because in a trial like this, the rulings have everything to do with how the trial is going to proceed. And as certain amounts of evidence are being brought out, it looks like Trump is in a bad place. I'm very curious about the rest of the evidence. Unfortunately, this is going to overshadow a lot of the campaign for the next 4 or 5 months, maybe?
But they have 4.8 out of 5 stars. And actually, some of these people that are involved in this class action are some of those who gave Trump University some of the highest ratings. How do they explain that?
You know, I don't know about all the facts, but I'll tell you, I watched 2 hours today as depositions were being leaked. And some of these people that ended up part of the plaintiff's case had earlier given glowing recommendations about the school, had ended up giving more money, had said that even though Trump wasn't teaching, the teachers were quite good, and they were learning quite a bit, and were happy they signed up, and then they ended up being plaintiffs. I find it curious that this becomes as important as anything else in the campaign.
But how could it? Because this is a private thing. This is a private business. They keep saying, oh, it was targeting old people and financially insecure people and what? That's called sales. People do that every single day, and every single sales job target. I mean, if you're going to make that argument, then the commercials on the most left of the mainstream media who are repeating these lies, the commercials on their network are targeting the mentally weak, the poor, and the old, right? So, I mean, that's what sales is. So to accuse him of that, one, seems very disingenuous to me, but number two, you hold that up to the Clinton Foundation. Hillary says they were dead broke when they left the White House 16 years ago. Somehow they went from that to having over $100 million from speeches from nations that are questionably hostile to the United States, from other things that we don't even know or understand, speeches to Wall Street that she won't even release the transcripts of. If there's something to be dangerous or afraid of, to me that's Hillary.
I think what you're hitting on is what's resonating so greatly with a very large portion of Trump's supporters. When Trump talks about the press is biased and the press is giving part of the story and the press is slanted, in the beginning there was a smattering of applause. Now people are understanding that the stories that they're getting are being adjusted and filtered by the source of that news, which is why you see people at Trump rallies standing ovations like crazy when he makes that exact point.
Good point. Well, we're going to stay in touch with you, Barry. Thanks for being with us. Next, we check on the gorilla controversy that you're very much familiar with, and so we'll be back with more American Trends coming at you right after this. Stay where you are.
Everyone gets calluses. They're ugly, itchy, and